Another beautiful sunny day in sunny Sacramento, California. Not so sunny in the current moment in time, a little bit foggy in the morning, but nonetheless, the sun will come up in a few hours or so. But anyways, we're going to talk about Ilia Topuria taking on the wounded animal in Alexander Volkanovski. Now, why do I call him a wounded animal going into this fight? It wasn't too long ago that he just took on Islam Makhachev for the 155 belt for the second time around. By the way, with very precarious circumstances based on the fact that he was coming in there 11 days notice. Okay, now Kamaru Usman also came in there 11 days notice on the same card, taking on Khamzat Chimaev to replace Paulo Costa, and then here comes Alexander Volkanovski replacing Charles Oliveira, with Islam Makhachev having a rematch on his hands, either way, with a full camped, fully loaded Oliveira, as opposed to, let's say, a half-cocked Alexander Volkanovski. And what did he get as a result of it? He got Alexander Volkanovski, who was halfway decent because of the circumstances that he had going into this fight. So what happened as exactly how no one would have ever predicted it to be, right? We would have thought we would get another 5-round decision that they did back in February, literally a year ago, okay? And that did not happen. So what did we have as a result of it? We got a head kick knockout that could leave Alexander Volkanovski very vulnerable going into this fight and could probably spell the end of city kickboxing as we know it in the championship levels. Of course, there's Carlos Ulberg, who's coming up in the 205 division. He's got a fight coming up with the incredible Dominic Reyes, and I say incredible because of his performance that he did with John Jones, but after that fight, it just went downhill from there, which, by the way, tells you a lot about John Jones, or does it? Either way, we're going to talk about Alexander Volkanovski and how this affects him going into this fight. I think that he's going to be damaged going into this fight, and not only that, Ilia Topuria is going to have all the advantages based on momentum, based on the fact that he's fresh, based on the fact that he didn't take the kind of damage that Alexander Volkanovski took during the year. So understand this. With Alexander Volkanovski, he's got a serious problem in his hands. Okay? He's coming in too soon. And why he's coming into this fight at such a short notice, even after he just did an 11 days short notice fight as a champion, trying to move up a weight once again, trying to capture the 155 belt for the second time, only failing miserably. And his excuse was, well, I just needed a fight. I need a fight because it is my purpose, it is what I do, and without it, I am lost in identity, and not only that, worst of all, I am lost in the vices that is presented to me when I'm not fighting. In other words, there's a lot of guys out there that have problems when they don't have a fight going on. For example, guys overdrink, guys overeat. Look at Paddy Pimblett. He may not be, let's say, the biggest drug addict in the world, may not necessarily be the biggest alcoholic in the world, but he is a fiend for one thing or another, and that is California San Diego tacos, which isn't bad. It's not a bad addiction to have, but man, if you're trying to make weight as a fighter and you fight at 155 and you're constantly blowing up from 160s, 170s, and then moving up to the 190s and the 200s when you're supposed to be a 155 fighter, it doesn't help your case in terms of coming back to your training camp, because then your training camp just becomes your fat camp. That's not Alexander Volkanovski's problem. It's not the issue that he has going on. The issue that he has going on is based on the fact that he just doesn't know when to stop fighting. And I know that he's an active fighter. What do you mean by doesn't know when to stop fighting? Look, there's a reason why champions in the past have only fought once or twice a year. Now, it all varies, and it's all different. Now, look at Anthony Joshua. He's a championship level fighter, but he is active He's been having 3 fights this year with Franklin, with Otto Wallin, and then before that was Robert Helenius. Very active. So now he's going into this Francis Ngannou fight. It should do him some good. Probably a whole lot better than Tyson Fury just based on his activity level alone. And by the way, I urge you guys to check out that video that I did reacting to Anthony Joshua sign to fight Francis Ngannou on the live stream section of this particular channel. Check that out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's continue on with Volkanovski and how this fight is going to go. Now look, to be honest with you, if you really want me to give you an honest prediction straight off the bat, okay, my humble opinion, I think that Alexander Volkanovski is going to get finished in this fight. Now, why do I say that? Have you guys ever played in a carnival? Those little free throw shoots that they have for the basketball, right? Little free throws. Sometimes when you are on a hot streak, okay, you're bucking every single shot. Every single shot is coming in. And then out of nowhere, you miss, right? You miss all those consecutive shots in a row that you're throwing. Out of nowhere, after you miss those shots, you start missing again and again and again until, of course, you get back that rhythm of shooting the basketball in, and now you're making it one after another after another. This is momentum. Right now, the momentum that Alexander Volkanovski has. The issue that he has going on right now is that he doesn't have that momentum on his side. And as a result of that, it could really affect how he's going to perform in his matchup. Now, once again, this is only an early prediction that I'm giving you. But right now, if you really want me to be clear, precise, and honest about what is going to happen, I just really don't think it's going to go well for Alexander Volkanovski. Now, let's talk about Ilia Topuria. What is awesome about this is that he is a Spanish fighter from Georgia. On top of that, the UFC is trying to break into the market of Spain. So everything is on his side, his momentum. On top of that, he's undefeated in the UFC and elsewhere. Not only that, has enough skills, athleticism to match Volkanovski. So he will either, a couple of things could either happen, okay? He could get out-wrestled the entire fight, and out of nowhere, Ilia Topuria knocks him out. Why? Because let's face it, Alexander Volkanovski is vulnerable. If you say otherwise, that's fine, but the reality is, going into this fight, he is a wounded animal. And if you're a wounded animal, your response is you're going to attack when somebody is trying to pile up on you. Sort of like a swarm of hyenas coming in to prey on the weak that is, let's say, vulnerable. Like if you've seen lions get attacked by hyenas after a lion has been in a compromised position. So it's not highly unlikely that he's going to take Ilia Topuria down a few times. Ilia Topuria is going to get back up. He's going to use his skills and athleticism to somewhere down the line knock out Alexander Volkanovski, even if Alexander Volkanovski is winning, because that's how vulnerable he is. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will throw more predictions along the way. The next prediction I think I'm going to do is going to be for the Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker fight. Obviously, that ended with such controversy, and now they're coming back first thing of 2024 as the first headline fight for this year after their lackluster fight that they had. More on that in the next video. But for now, don't forget to like and subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend, watch till the end, and don't forget to watch all the videos and the live stream and everything in between. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter too. On the description writings below, you will see my Twitter account. Give me a follow, give me a shout out. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, inshallah.